All right, here is a continuation of what we have been learning for the last 3 days, and that is the speech that the Lubavitcher Rebbe gave in 1991 regarding this week's Torah portion, and especially regarding the most timely and important topic there is in existence, and which should be in our heads and in our minds all the time, and that is Moshiach. And Moshiach is going to make a world where there's going to be revealed the essence, potential of every human being in the world. Every human being is, and we have no idea what potential we have, how special and amazing human beings are. No idea in the world. And the Rebbe says that that's the whole idea of Geula. Geula means redemption. Geula. And Geula means redemption. It means that the world will remain as it is, but its potential will be awakened. Potential will be awakened. And when the potential of this world and every human being, every individual in it is awakened, we'll see that this world is infinitely, infinitely more happy and real and meaningful and blessed than heaven, going to heaven. And like all the religions in the world are based on going to heaven somehow or other, and everyone will see that we're in the wrong direction, right? Why should I go to heaven? The treasure is buried by me. I'm sure you know the story, but maybe I'll tell it afterwards. We'll see. Anyway, the treasure is buried over here, right by us. The creation, God is creating you. Okay, so but that depends on the Jewish people, and the Jewish people, they have to put the ALEF into the word Gola. The word Gola means exile, and the ALEF is the godliness. And to put godliness into the exile, then all of a sudden everything becomes meaningful. I thought of something yesterday. I mean, this is just my thought anyway, but I don't know. I think it's sort of neat. When the Jews left Egypt, so it says only 1/5 of the Jews left Egypt, right? Chamushim alu ben Israel. It's only 1/5. The other 4/5 died in the plague of darkness. Rashi even says it's simple. 4/5 died in the plague of darkness. And so, but 1/5 got out. That 1/5 got out, and the rest of Egypt was decimated, was just, knocked down. But that's not the goal. The goal is not to decimate the world and to destroy our enemies and to get revenge and that wouldn't be a bad thing, to destroy our enemies. But that's not the goal. What's the goal? Is that our enemies should be transformed. Instead of destroying Egypt, is to transform Egypt. So this is what I thought. Listen to this. This is what I thought. Like I said, this is just what I thought. So, you can take it with 100 grains of salt. But anyway, I figured like this. So when we left Egypt, 1/5 was good and the rest was bad, and we left it behind. The bad we left behind. We took out the good. But the future redemption is going to be exactly the opposite. The 1/5 is going to go back in. Like we said, the word Geula has 5 letters in it, and 4 of those letters are bad, Gola. But the one letter that we're going to put into it, the Geula, which I guess you put that letter goes where here is on the Geula, it's right after the Gimel. And the Geula, the 1/5 is going to go back in to the 4/5 and elevate the whole 4/5. So instead of 1/5 of good leaving the bad and leaving the bad to be destroyed, the 1/5, which is the letter Aleph, is going to come into the 4/5, the 4 letters Gola, and elevate the whole business. Huh? Not bad, not bad. That's what I thought. Okay. However it is, we have to do that. So what are we supposed to do? So the Rebbe, first of all, said that this letter Aleph, it represents a lot of things, the letter Aleph. But the Rebbe said especially it's 3 levels of godliness. The most, the closest to us is that God is the king of the world. Above that that's Aleph, Alufo Shalom. Above that is the word Aleph means to teach. That's Torah. Torah, that's above the world. And then the word Aleph has the letters, if you read it backwards, is Pella. Pella means miracles. That's above even the intellect of the Torah. That's the essence intellect of God. The big miracles that'll be revealed in the world, like King Solomon says in the book of Song of Songs, that God will kiss me with the kisses of his mouth. The Torah is God's mouth. The creation is God's mouth. The Torah is the inside, so to speak, of God's speech. And the kisses, that's really the inside of the inside. That's even higher. That's the inside of the Torah. So that's what three levels we have to bring into the world. That God is the king of the world, God gave the Torah, and that there's the source of God, why God created the world, why God gave the Torah, the essence, the secrets of the Torah. Okay. And we're Jews, we have to do this. We have to bring the ALEF into the world. Because they, in order that every single Jew will have the power to accept this Gilui, this revelation, this revelation of Moshiach, of the Mashiach. So the Jews, we have to simulate what Mashiach is going to do. What do we say Mashiach is going to do? Mashiach is going to put the ALEF into the world, into the Gola, and transform it to be Geula. And we said there's three levels of this ALEF. The Mashiach will reveal how God's creating the world, God gave the Torah, and the secrets of the Torah. So we're going to, the coming of the Mashiach sooner, it depends on us. So we have to do the same thing. We have to, in order that every single Jew should have the power to receive this revelation of the Mashiach, so we have to, each one has to simulate within himself all these three levels of the ALEF. Like it's known that every single Jew has a spark of Mashiach in him. Therefore, that's what we just talked about, the spark which is inside of the coal of, right? Therefore, each and every Jew says, in the holidays, so when they take out the Torah, so we say, may it be soon fulfilled by each one of us what it says about the Mashiach, that there will come on him the Spirit of God, etc. Namely, we have to also have these three levels, which is Malchut, God's kingship, and God's emotions. Really, we said no, God's kingship and emotions, that's the creation. Mochin, God's intellect, which is relevant to the world, that's the Torah. And Mochin Be'etzem, that's the secrets of the Torah. So we have to bring this also into our personal life. The creator of the world, the Torah, and the secrets of the Torah. How so? Yesh Lomo, we can say that this is the whole meaning of the Mishnah, which is in Pirkei Avot, which is Perek Revi. We this Shabbat are going to say the third chapter of Pirkei Avot, but then we're saying the fourth chapter. What is Pirkei Avot? Pirkei Avot, for those of you that don't know, is Pirkei Avot is Mishnah, 6 chapters of Mishnahs, Mishnah. It's a tractate of Mishnahs, and it's all sayings and advice by the rabbis. Sayings and advice by the rabbis. It's not unlike all the other Mishnahs, which they are laws and relevant to what you, what the laws you have to do, mostly with your body, right? The laws, how you have to put on tefillin and what's Shabbos and what the laws, etc. These Pirkei Avos is more talking about your personality, how you should treat the world, what you should get excited about, how to get more excited about the Torah and about loving every Jew, and etc. More okay, so that's Pirkei Avot, and the custom is to learn between Passover in the 7 weeks between Passover and Shavuot. Some people extend it. They should learn another chapter of Pirkei Avot, and when the Rebbe was saying this, they were learning the 4th chapter. We're learning the 3rd chapter this week. Okay, what does it say in the 4th chapter of Pirkei Avot? It says that it talks about 4 things: who is wise, who is strong, who is rich, and who is honorable. Huh? Who is what? So you say, well, who is wise? You think wise is a person, he knows a lot of books, right? No, that's this is a wise person, someone who learns from everybody. Who is strong? Strongest guy in the world, right? A strong guy, he can lift up 1,000 pounds with one hand. Nobody can do that. That's strong. That's not. A strong person is a person who conquers himself. That's pretty. You wouldn't think of that. Who is rich? Rich. You look in Forbes magazine. And this guy has $100 billion, and this guy has $100 trillion. He's the richest person. No, a rich person is whoever is happy with what he's got. That's a rich person. He's rich. And who is honorable? Right? Who is honorable? Someone who honors others. That's what it says. Okay, I sort of jumped. Okay, anyway, it says there's these four levels that it talks about, four different, aspects of, the character traits or goals that people want. Oh, goals. Goals in life. Some people want to be wise. They want wisdom. They don't care about money. They don't care about, popularity. They just want to be wise. They're looking for wisdom. Some people say, no, I want to be strong. I want to be powerful. I want to rule. I'm going to rule everybody. I don't care about money. I don't care about anything. Other people say, no, I want riches. I want money. You have money, you can buy anything you want. You can buy anything you want. Another person says, no, what I want is I want to be popular. I want to be popular. I want to be honored. Everybody come in, everybody stands up, everybody knows my name. But those are four things that people really want. Okay, so now we're going to look at a different way. I told you one different way. I'll Perky of what says. Here, the Rebbe is going to give a different. These four things are talking about aspects that Moshiach is going to bring into the world, and that we should also internalize, that we can be in tune with Moshiach. Here we go. It's known that these correspond to four levels that people of the Sfirot also. The 10 Sfirot also can be divided into these four categories. These are the 10 powers of the soul. They correspond also to the four letters of God's name. Who is Chacham? That's Chachma. Chachma, that's Chachma. Who is Gibur? Gibur is the power of Bina, understanding. Who is, Chachma is wisdom. Bina is power. Power to control yourself. Who is rich? That's Tiferet, beauty. Who is honorable? That's Malchus. That's being a king. So we can divide these four categories, these four goals in life, or whatever you want to call it, four good character categories: being wise, being powerful, being rich, being honored, according to the Sfirot and according to the four letters of God's name, Yud Kei Vav Kei, and etc. Okay, because that each Jew has a part of God inside of him, we're called the sons of God. So we're like God. Even more, it says Chelik Hashem Amo. A part of God is His people. The Jewish people are a part of God. She'etzem, an essence. When you grab a little bit of it, you grab the whole thing. And therefore, Klulim Bo, all the four letters. Each and every Jew has within him the totality of God, because every Jew is like grabbing onto the finger or something of God. So therefore, every Jew schleps God along with him, and God has all these aspects inside of him also. What we call that God is the Alufo Shel Olam. God is the King of the world. God is in the world, right? Is above the world, and God is above even that. So we're going to see how this whole thing fits all together. Let's go. Avodato, our service in the world is to reveal these four good things inside of us, each one of us. It's there. Each one of us is wise, powerful, rich, honorable. That we said is the four aspects of God: Chachma, Bina, emotions, and Malchut. And so each one, we have to just manifest this inside of us. We have to, nurture it inside of us. Okay, that's that's really what Perky Avos is talking about. Milid Chasidusa. These are Hasidic goals, which are in the Torah. Okay, so we have all these four: how God is the King, how God is the Torah, and also God is the essence of the Torah. That's these words of Chasidut. being above even what the Torah demands. Okay, here we go. Also, is found in every single Jew, these four things, by means of this, it makes completion of Malchut. It makes finally the completion of God's kingship. Completion of the what's called the throne of God's kingship, which God's kingship throne has 4 feet on the throne. We just finished learning, right, that Isaiah saw God sitting on a throne and that the angels were above God. So we're supposed to make a throne, a vessel for God, and the throne, every chair, a normal chair at least, has 4 legs. The Yeshiv Shlomo Kisei Hashem, like it says that Shlomo, King Solomon, sat on the throne of God. And similarly, this has to be by every Jew. Because all the Jews, every Jew, is the son of a king. All the Jews are sons of kings. And even more, the Jews are all kings. Odd until that by means of this, he receives he's relevant to be mechubad, to be honorable. That's the kavod of Hashem. Okay, so the Rebbe just finished explaining what is a chacham, what is a powerful person, what's rich, and to be honorable. To be honorable, says kavod, that's the finality of the whole business. That's the throne of God. Like it says, mamlich b'umas ha'olam she'omrim alav shenatan michavod lebasar b'dam. It says that when you see a king of the non-Jews, you're supposed to make a blessing that you gave from your kavod. A king is honor, glory. How much more so when it's relevant to the Torah, that every single Jew has a portion in the Torah. We said that the Torah is called Limudei Hashem. Who are the kings? Who are the kings? They're the rabbis. That by means of this, you can also read to what's called the Chachma of Malchut, the king, the wisdom of Malchut. Okay, so we have in the lowest aspect, honor, we have also these upper 3 aspects of being rich, of being powerful, and being wise, like King Solomon. That was the completion of being a king. Now, the Mashiach is going to be a king, but the king is going to have, the Mashiach is going to have, and is going to manifest, and also the Mashiach, which within each and every one of us, is going to manifest all these 4 levels of kingship. Namely, he's going to be wise, he's going to be powerful, he's going to be rich, and he's going to be truly honored. That's a king. And it's going to be revealed by each one of us. And we Jews are going to reveal this in every human being. Okay, so that's what it means to reveal God in the world, that we have to make the throne of God, we become the throne of God, which has these 4 feet to it, which we said the 4 feet, that's these 4 aspects of wisdom and riches and wisdom and power and riches and honor, these 4 things that'll be relevant that God can come and sit in the world. Like it says, King Solomon sat in his throne. And we said that all these 4 things, this corresponds to Chachma, Bina, emotions, and Malchut, to open up inside of us how these are connected to the Creator. They're gifts from the Creator, and they're gifts constantly, so we can connect to the Creator. That by means of this is drawn down also the head of the king comes down. When it sits in the throne, his head comes down, so we can receive more connection to the king. And his feet are elevated by what's called the footstool. The Jewish people actually elevate God's presence. We're the footstool of God. By means of drawing godliness down into the world, it becomes the complete joining of godliness, which is above the world, the king, into the world, into the throne, and even to the footstool, that we Jews elevate the feet of God, so to speak. Okay, so that's what it means, bringing the ALEF into the world. Okay, simply speaking, let's just take a simple example of this, that a person thinks all the money I have is a gift from God. It's all a gift from God. So therefore, I have to do with my money what God wants, right? I can't waste it on foolish things. One of the main things that God wants me to do with money is to give to poor people, charity. But it's really not my money. It's just money that God gave to me to pass on, to do things that he wants, because God wants to be in the world, but he wants it to be in the world through my free will. So my free will, if I decide that I want to do all these four things, like I said, to use it for God's wisdom, for God's power, for God's richness, for God's honor, then it's a different story. I become a vessel. So a person can say, 1 second, I'm going to give my money to charity. Where's the money going to come from? I had in my pocket $100 and I just gave away 10, maybe 20 to other people. Now I only have 80. Where's it going to come from? Just think, where did the other 80 come from? It came from God. The money you gave away is going to come back to you because God gave it to you in the first place. Now you're doing what God wants, so he's going to fill it. But what if he doesn't? What if he doesn't give me the money? So he says, if he doesn't, then that means he doesn't want to. The money wasn't yours in the first place, right? God wanted you to give the money away. What happens after that is God's business. It's not your business. But maybe it won't work out. Listen, God's business always works out. It always works out. Don't worry about it. He says, yeah, but if I don't have that money, maybe I can't buy my new Harley motorcycle or something. Maybe that's not good for you to buy the Harley. Maybe it's not good for you to buy a new silk shirt. Who knows? Right? God knows what he's doing. Don't worry about it. But the idea is that you become a vessel for God. Now, if you're a vessel for God, so how much money can you make? Right? Well, I work hard. I can make another 20, maybe even 40. But God is infinite. God can, even if you're the biggest loser in the world, God can give you millions. He can give you millions. God doesn't depend on your on your work. If God wants you to make you rich, even if you didn't do anything, God can make you. So it means that's what it means, that you become a vessel for godliness. But not just a passive vessel, an empty vessel. You give to others, you help others, and you give. Okay, you learn more Torah, you give yourself to the Torah, you give yourself to the commandments. That's what's called making yourself into a vessel. And this is just in day-to-day life. And even more, when you're standing, for instance, on the day of Shabbat, which Rebbe was speaking on Shabbat. With Shabbat, that's what's called God's kingship. And especially in the days of Spirit of Omer. And this year, when that year it came out that the Passover was on Shabbos. And so it ended up that they started counting the day after Shabbat, which that comes out to be exactly the way the Torah says. Was the Torah, in this case of counting the Shabbat, of counting the Omer, cannot be taken at face value. When it says you should start counting after Shabbat, that's not what it means. But on the other hand, that's what it says. So when Passover actually falls on Shabbos, you start counting the Omer after the day after Shabbat. So you're not only doing what the Torah means, you're also doing what the Torah says. Then every Shabbat will be a complete one. Every Shabbat finishes a complete aspect of godliness, one of the 7 aspects of godliness. This is the Malchut of Chesed, the kingship, the finality of God's kindness, the finality of all the 7 emotions, Gevura, Tiferet. And the kingship of all of these different worlds is revealed. Malchut kamoshu kashur in shlemut, hoda, and etc. The 7 emotions of God. Excuse me. So what have we been saying up to here now? The whole thing depends on us Jews. And the Jews have to activate their devotion to God. And when they do, that's called being complete. That's a yearning which is inside of every Jew, without exception, is to reveal their Jewishness. That's what every Jew wants. It's concealed, it's hidden, it's denied, it's whatever. And when a Jew reveals his true Jewishness inside of him, that's called the Moshiach of every Jew. And that's revealed through the Torah and through the meaning of the Torah and through revealing that God is the king in the world. And that's what the Rebbe says, that it corresponds to these 4 things of wisdom, power, richness, and honor, like the Rebbe just finished explaining. That's Chachma, Bina, emotions, and action. Okay, so now we can understand this is the Shabbat, says the Rebbe, this is the Shabbat which came after Lag BaOmer. Now, of course, that's by us, Lag BaOmer is going to be in another, 2.5 weeks, 1.5 weeks. And this is with 30 days within Lag BaOmer. What is Lag BaOmer? Lag BaOmer is the 33rd of the 50 days of the 49, 33rd of the 49 days of the Omer, 33 days of counting the Omer. That was the day that Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai passed away. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai wrote the book, the Zohar. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai passed away about 1,800 years ago. Excuse me. I don't know what I got today. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, 1,800 years ago. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai is basically the father of all Kabbalah. Kabbalah. He revealed very, very deep secrets of Kabbalah in a way that were revealed. He only revealed it to his inner circle, but nevertheless, he wanted it to be revealed to all mankind. Generations after him explain more, especially the Arizal. The Arizal, the Rav Yitzchak Luria, that he passed away about more than 400 years ago. And then especially by the Baal Shem Tov and Chassidut Chabad, that's the force that's going to bring Mashiach. But it all began with Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai to reveal these secrets of the Torah. By Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai was revealed the inside of the Torah, which we said before that's the Pella. That's the miracle of the Torah. That's the niflot which are in the Torah. The main revelation that Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai revealed was on the day that he passed away. That was what's called the soul of the Torah. The inside secrets which were revealed all of the days of his life, he put it all together on the last day of his life. That was Lag BaOmer when he passed away. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, it's not that he was tremendously sick and he just sort of waned away and became really weak, and he said a couple words before he died. He said this whole entire chapter of the Zohar, the Idra Rabbah, Idra Zutra, on the day that he passed away. Until that, by means of writing these things down in the book of the Zohar, this revealed afterwards to the Jewish people all of the deep secrets of the Torah in a way that they could be nourished by them. The Havana Vasaga, that these deep ideas of the Torah didn't remain in the Torah for the great wise Kabbalists. It remained in the hearts and the minds of every single Jew. Because every single Jew is connected to the inside essence of the Torah and God. This is the revealing of the niflot, of the wonders of the Torah, which that's been the ALEF, is Pele. That's the revelation in Chachma Bina Medas, revelation. That's Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. In addition to this, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai also wrote a lot, not just in the secrets of the Torah, but also in the revealed aspect of the Torah. He's mentioned very, very often in the Mishnah. He was one of the main pupils of Rabbi Akiva. According to some, he was the main pupil of Rabbi Akiva. Yishlom, we can say, Rabbi Akiva's 24,000 pupils died, and there was only left 5. There's different ways of looking at it, but that's we have 5 left, and the main one, it says, was Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Yishlom, we can say that in Torah itself was revealed the inside, the secrets of the Torah, like the difference between the ALEF of teaching and the ALEF, which is Pele. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, he joined the external aspect of the Torah, which is called the ALEF Chachma, with the inside of the Torah, which is Pele, which is miracles. He joined them together. There were great Tanaim that they were experts in the secrets of the Torah. The secrets of the Torah. They wrote on the Sefer of Bahir, but they didn't write in the revealed Torah. Then there were a lot of them that wrote in the revealed Torah, Rabbi Akiva and this, that they didn't write in the secrets of the Torah, maybe a little bit. And Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, he was an expert, and he was very, prolific in both. He wrote the Zohar, and he was mentioned a lot in the Zohar, in the Talmud and in the Mishnah. So we joined these two together. And this power he gave with this power that Rabbi Shimon gave, he gave the ability to reveal godliness, which is above the world, in the world. Like we said before, Tanya, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai said, Kol Makom, any place that wherever the Jews went into exile, the Shekhinah, God's presence, went with them. The Jewish people went to the Babylon, God's presence was in exile with them. The Jewish people went into Edom, that's where we are now, is the Jewish people, God is with them. God is in exile. In other words, that also when the Jewish people are in exile, in Gola, nevertheless there, the Alufo Shalom, the king of the world, is with them. Similarly, also, we can say that Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, he drew down into the world itself. Like he said, Yochel ani liftor et kol ha'olam kulo min adin. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai was so devoted to God in his essence and every fiber of his being that he said, Rabbi Shimon was the idea. There's a song that's written about Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai that everybody sings, and one of the verses in the song is Nase Adam Ne'amar B'Barecha. That God created the first man was said with Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai in mind. Nase Adam Ne'amar B'Barecha. That God said, Nase Adam, let us make man. This was said for the sake of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. So it says, Rabbi Shimon says, I am able to exempt the whole entire world from any sort of judgment, severe judgment. It says in the days of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, there was no rainbow in the sky. The rainbow is a sign that God wants to destroy the world, but because he made a covenant with Noah, so he doesn't destroy the world. That's the rainbow. The rainbow is like a bow, which is is pointed away from the enemy. Right? It's pointed away from the enemy to show that even though we're acting like enemies, but God doesn't point his bow at us. Right? Okay. In the days of Rabbi Shimon, there was no rainbow. Rabbi Shimon's presence was enough to make God happy with the whole generation. Shehu Yochal, that he could exempt the whole world. What does it mean, the world? The word world means concealment. God, the fact that God is hidden and that we hide God even more, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai said, nevertheless, was enough to, how do you say, be in the place to make God forget about all the bad things we do. Yesh L'Kasher, we can also attach this with Lag BaOmer. This is the day which is Hod Shebahod, that this hints at the idea of giving thanks to God. Hodah Shebahodah, and giving thanks to God, but giving thanks in a way that we say, God, you're so good, but we don't understand you. Hodah, we're just surrendering ourselves to you. That's this aspect of Pella, which is above understanding. That's surrender to God. Thanks. From this also comes out the other level of ALEF, means to understand God. That's the Torah, ALEF HaChachma. To add that Hod Shebahod, this aspect of God, which is called concealed of the concealed, this is the end of this main midot, which we're going to have to explain this tomorrow. In other words, this is all of the 10 aspects of God are all together, Chacham, Gibor, all these 4 aspects, and Hod is also the 5th of these spheres. It's like this is a 5th goes to Paro. And that all will be revealed, that's Perua, revealed. Okay, this paragraph, we're going to do again tomorrow. We're talking about the greatness of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai and how Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai enabled us to reveal these 3 aspects of ALEF, that God is the king of the world, that God gave the Torah, and also God gave the secrets of the Torah. And also to reveal in our personality also these 4 aspects of being wise, being powerful, being rich, and being honorable, how this is relevant to each and every Jew, and how Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, he was the one that actually set this whole thing into motion by revealing the secrets of the Torah. And this we're going to talk about more, God willing, tomorrow.